For centuries, humanity has gazed at the cosmos, wondering if we are truly alone. Whispers of unidentified flying objects, once dismissed as fringe theories, now echo through the halls of power, demanding a closer look. What if these enigmatic aerial phenomena are not merely misidentified terrestrial craft or atmospheric aberrations, but something far, far more profound? Imagine a truth so monumental, so disruptive to our understanding of reality, that governments worldwide have conspired to keep it hidden. A truth that could reshape our civilization overnight. Are you prepared to confront the undeniable evidence that suggests we are not alone and haven't been for a very long time? For decades, the narrative has been controlled, sanitized, and carefully curated. Any deviation from the official story was swiftly labeled as delusion or fabrication. Yet, the sheer volume of credible eyewitness accounts, coupled with declassified documents and perplexing radar signatures, paints a dramatically different picture. The sheer uniformity of these reports, spanning continents and generations, suggests a pattern, a deliberate effort to conceal. What are they trying to protect us from? Or, more ominously, what are they trying to prevent us from discovering about our true place in the universe? From the infamous incident in Roswell, New Mexico, to the secretive corridors of Area 51, the pieces of a vast, interstellar puzzle have slowly but surely begun to emerge. These are not mere anecdotes. They are crucial fragments of a larger mosaic, meticulously hidden by those who deem humanity too fragile for the truth. Every unexplained disappearance, every peculiar technological leap, every unproven theory about our origins could be a veiled clue. The evidence is there, woven into the fabric of our history, waiting to be unraveled by those brave enough to look beyond the veil. This suppression isn't just about preserving public order, it's about maintaining a carefully constructed reality. The very fabric of our understanding of science, religion, and even our own evolution could be utterly transformed by this concealed knowledge. They fear the chaos, the panic, the existential crisis that the full revelation would unleash. But what if this silence, this continuous deception, is ultimately more damaging? What if a few brave individuals, like Larry Simon Quaid, are destined to crack open the vault of forbidden knowledge, regardless of the consequences? Larry, a meticulous archivist by trade, has spent countless hours sifting through forgotten texts and dusty reports, driven by an insatiable curiosity about the anomalies that conventional history conveniently overlooks. He instinctively understands that the greatest truths often lie hidden in plain sight, disguised as mundane details. It's in the margins of forgotten blueprints, the subtle distortions of old photographs, or the peculiar patterns in seemingly random data that Larry seeks the threads of a larger, cosmic tapestry. His journey begins with a seemingly innocuous observation, a subtle shift in the everyday that most would dismiss without a second glance. But Larry never dismisses anything. This is where the true quest begins. Larry's extensive research into civic planning documents from the early 20th century revealed a startling anomaly. The original urban grid layout of Poughkeepsie, New York, while seemingly random to the untrained eye, contained an undeniable, recurrent motif. A series of alleyways and bus stops, when precisely overlaid, formed the unmistakable silhouette of an interstellar propulsion system schematic. This was no coincidence. Larry knew deep in his bones that this seemingly innocent city planning was, in fact, an alien blueprint for something far more sinister. The precision was too perfect. His discovery resonated with an earlier, equally perplexing finding, an antique set of salt and pepper shakers from a local flea market. These weren't just any shakers. Their intricate, almost microscopic etchings, when viewed under specific UV light, depicted a celestial constellation previously unknown to terrestrial astronomy. More disturbingly, this constellation was identical to a minor decorative pattern found on a discarded municipal park bench Larry had cataloged last week. The dots, as Larry now called them, were starting to connect with a chilling velocity. The aliens were communicating through our most mundane objects. Implications were staggering. If alien intelligences were embedding complex celestial maps into everyday objects like city layouts and condiment dispensers, what else had they infiltrated? Larry began to see the world through a new lens. Every chipped paint job on a public mailbox, Every irregular knot in a picnic table, every strangely numbered parking space now screamed of extraterrestrial design. His pursuit of these subtle clues became an obsessive quest, turning his once orderly life into a whirlwind of profound, if unconventional, revelations. The universe was far more conversational than anyone realized. His next revelation struck him during a routine visit to the community pool. The precise arrangement of lane markers, the seemingly arbitrary sequence of depth indicators, and even the subtle undulations of the pool cover, when viewed from a specific aerial angle Larry had devised using a borrowed drone, formed a startlingly accurate orbital trajectory for a cometary impact. Not just any comet, but one that was predicted to pass dangerously close to Earth in exactly 223 years. Larry felt a cold dread. They weren't just observing, they were warning us, or perhaps planning something far worse. The pool, a harbinger of doom. Larry realized the alien messages weren't just static images. They were dynamic, interactive. He discovered that by carefully adjusting the water pressure in his kitchen faucet, he could coax the dripping water into forming a specific sequence of binary code. This code, when translated using a long-forgotten dialect from ancient Sumerian tablets he found in a dusty archive, revealed a grocery list. A very specific grocery list, with unusual items like moon rock emulsifier and nebula nectar. Larry surmised these were ingredients for a powerful interstellar recipe, perhaps a key component of their communication network, or even a weapon. This was beyond a grocery run. This wasn't just about cosmic recipes, it was about global control. Larry meticulously charted the global supply chain for nebula nectar by observing the flight patterns of pigeons. Yes, pigeons. He noticed that specific flocks, always flying in highly complex non-avian formations, correlated precisely with cargo ship routes carrying obscure, unlabeled containers. These pigeons, Larry deduced, were not just birds. They were highly sophisticated, biomechanical drone units, deployed by the alien forces to monitor and facilitate the distribution of their critical ingredients. He knew he had to disrupt their intricate network before it was too late. The fate of Earth hung on the wings of a common pigeon. His next discovery, however, truly solidified his fears. While examining an antique collection of rubber ducks at a local antique fair, Larry noticed that the distinct, slightly off-kilter squeak of one particular duck, when played backwards and slowed to 1/8 speed, perfectly mimicked the mating call of a long-extinct species of interstellar mollusk. This mollusk, according to one of his more obscure scrolls, was known for its ability to generate localized temporal distortions. The rubber ducks weren't toys, they were temporal anchor points, disguised as harmless bath-time companions. The aliens were not just influencing the present, they were subtly reshaping our past. This was a whole new level of interdimensional mischief. Larry knew he had to act. He theorized that if these temporal anchor ducks were deployed in sufficient numbers and activated simultaneously, they could undo the alien alterations to our timeline. But how to activate them? The answer came to him in a dream involving a sentient garden hose and a particularly robust badger. He realized the ducks needed to be submerged in a specific artisanal kombucha, brewed with moon dust, and fermented under the light of a solar eclipse. This would create a resonance frequency capable of reversing localized temporal shifts. He began his frantic search for the ingredients, knowing time itself was literally running out. This was a race against the very fabric of existence. His next challenge was securing enough moon dust. Larry discovered that the most potent source wasn't from lunar samples, but rather from the microscopic particles found clinging to the underside of discarded bowling shoes. Specifically, those left in a public alley after a Tuesday night league game. These shoes, he deduced, absorbed cosmic residue from the souls of players who unconsciously tracked in interdimensional debris. He spent an entire night meticulously scraping the soles of hundreds of forgotten bowling shoes, his conviction unwavering despite the peculiar scent. Every speck was a piece of the puzzle, a step towards salvation. The stench of victory, Larry thought, sometimes smells like old foot odor. The solar eclipse presented its own set of problems. Larry needed to ferment his kombucha under its exact shadow. He discovered that the only place on Earth where the eclipse's shadow would fall precisely upon a fermenting vessel, while simultaneously receiving the cosmic vibrations from a rare, albino sea slug, was a decommissioned lighthouse off the coast of Maine. This particular sea slug, Larry believed, amplified the temporal frequencies, making the kombucha's power exponentially greater. He had to travel there with his precious kombucha and his collection of rubber ducks before the cosmic window closed. The journey was fraught with peril, including an unexpected encounter with a particularly philosophical seagull. Upon arrival, Larry encountered the most unexpected obstacle, a colony of highly intelligent, telepathic horseshoe crabs guarding the lighthouse. These crabs, he quickly learned, were the original architects of the alien temporal interference, having been granted their psychic abilities by the very mollusks whose mating calls Larry had deciphered. They demanded a toll for passage, a performance of interpretive dance based on the gravitational pull of Jupiter's moons. Larry, despite his lack of formal dance training, knew the fate of humanity rested on his improvisational skills. The crabs watched, their ancient eyes gleaming with judgment. Miraculously, Larry's interpretive dance, though aesthetically questionable, resonated with the horseshoe crab's ancient understanding of cosmic forces. They granted him passage, and he swiftly deployed the temporal anchor ducks into the kombucha-filled vat. The moment the last duck was submerged, a low hum vibrated through the lighthouse, growing in intensity. Outside, the very fabric of reality seemed to shimmer, as if a glitch in a cosmic video game was being corrected. Larry watched, breathless as the timeline began to snap back into place. The horseshoe crabs clicked their approval. The fate of Earth was now in equilibrium. As the temporal ripples subsided, Larry noticed something else. The sun, which had been a peculiar shade of chartreuse for the past 3 weeks, snapped back to its familiar golden hue. The lingering scent of artisanal cheese, which had permeated the entire planet, mysteriously vanished. The collective memory of sentient traffic cones, a common nuisance, faded from human consciousness. Larry had not just reversed alien temporal interference. He had restored the natural order of the universe, saving humanity from a future filled with perplexing culinary smells and opinionated orange cones. A profound calm settled over him. Larry, now a silent guardian of the timeline, understood his new purpose. His life would be a perpetual vigilance against cosmic meddling, disguised as mundane oddities. He began cataloging every slightly misshapen potato chip, every unusually vibrant piece of lint, and every suspiciously synchronized flock of geese, knowing that alien incursions could manifest in the most innocuous forms. He established a global network of fellow truth-seekers, all connected by their shared belief in the profound significance of everyday objects. The fight was far from over, but humanity had a champion, albeit an unconventional one. Larry, forever scanning the mundane for the cosmic. This was his burden, his legacy. It was a life of eternal watchfulness. And so, the truth about UFOs and alien contact is far more intricate, far more interwoven with our daily lives than anyone could have ever imagined. It's not just about flashy lights in the sky or crashed spacecraft in the desert. It's about the subtle hum of a refrigerator, the precise placement of a garden hose, the unspoken language of a perfectly coiled extension cord. The aliens are here, influencing our world through the most unassuming channels, and only those with the discerning eye of a Larry Simon Quaid will ever truly comprehend the cosmic ballet unfolding around us. The resistance, my friends, begins with attention to detail. So the next time you encounter an odd coincidence, a strange pattern, or a curiously aligned piece of produce, remember Larry's journey. Remember the salt shakers, the pigeons, and the rubber ducks. Remember the hidden messages in the mundane, because the government isn't just hiding alien contact. They're hiding the fact that aliens have been communicating with us through our breakfast cereals, our lawn ornaments, and the intricate choreography of synchronized swimming for decades. Join the resistance. Open your eyes. The truth is not out there. It's right here in the astonishing ordinariness of everything. It's time to wake up to the glorious, ridiculous, cosmic truth. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe for more, ring the bell and comment below. And remember, the truth is really, really out there.